Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu pakhair agale ni hao chunishumme washmale. Ohai guzaimas guten morgen. Hola bonjour privet kaifa hal. Hale shuma chatore. Ahlan wa sahlan marhaba. Buna mucho gracias. Swabi abballi kare aya. Hoş geldin and I was Khuyamurachi Vatochi Haljot Kali Mera Khairutan and a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside my wonderful colleague who happens to be Miss Eesha Rehan. I happen to be Shahzad Khan, and we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your week with us. But first things first, hello Eesha, Assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam, Shahzad. I feel absolutely great, especially since on Mondays we can start afresh and anew, no matter how the last week or the previous months go. And I think Shahzad was very philosophical this morning, and he had a lot to say about Monday morning.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, today when I woke up, the first thing that I did was that I was really thankful to Allah Almighty. I prayed for my parents, I prayed for Pakistan, I prayed for my children. And not just that, I thought that, that Allah has given us this beautiful opportunity of having to start over again. And when you are about to start over, when you think about it, what you want in life, all you need to do is make sure that you align your energy, gain that energy that you require to be closer or one step closer towards your goal. So please make sure that when you start your morning today, which you are starting as of now, that you shape your energy in a way where it takes you closer to your goal. And not just that, I think what we really need to speak about over here is the 10th of Muharram and how the processions actually took place all over the globe, ladies and gentlemen, because Yawm Ashur, the 10th of Muharram al-Haram, was observed nationwide with solemn devotion amid tightened security to pay homage to the supreme sacrifice rendered by Hazrat Imam Hussain Raziallah Ta'ala Anhu and his devoted companions in Karbala. And for all of those people who were on ground, for all the provincial management, for all the federal management, I think a hats off to you for its successful and a secure completion of such processions.
And it's great to know how everything went smoothly. But moving on to what is happening to Pakistan's weather patterns, we need to know if our cities are going to be drenched in raindrops or if we are going to be drenched in sweat droplets. So moving on, we have there is a risk of flooding in rivers and streams across Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The National Emergency Operations Center of the NDMA has issued an alert for several rainfall and potential flooding across the country until Thursday. Other than this, heavy rains occurred in upper parts of the country as the Met Office predicted more downpour across till Thursday. According to the Met Office, wind and thunderstorms are expected in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Heavy rainfalls are expected to happen in isolated places like Kashmir and in the north of Pakistan. And to speak more about this, how the precautionary measures are being taken place by the Chief Minister Maryam Nawaz's Punjab Monsoon Emergency Plan Initiative. We actually have a very great guest who is Mr. Irfan Ali Khan, the Director General of the PDMA Punjab. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much and very good morning. Thanks for having me.
Irfan bhai, thank you so much. So the sole reason for you to be over here on our morning show is to speak about the preparedness that Punjab has undertaken under the auspices or the leadership of the Chief Minister Maryam Nawaz Sahiba. So let's get started first of all, sir. Which areas in Punjab are prone to flood and what measures have been undertaken already to make sure that we avert any difficulty or any emergency situation?
Well, thank you very much. If we look at the overall projections for the country for this year, we all know that it is almost 20 to 25% above normal rainfall predicted for the whole country. And if we talk about Punjab, we are expecting 16 to 20% above normal rainfall. But again, the focus would be on the northeastern region of Punjab, which includes the districts of Gujarat Division, Gujranwala Division, Lahore Division up to Okada. And in this particular region of northeastern Punjab, we are expecting 40 to 60% above normal rainfall, which can, trigger the urban flooding phenomena, the cloud bursting. And again, if we look at the overall pattern of this year's monsoon, there is a clear westward shift as well. And when I'm talking about westward shift, it means that it would rain on Kohe Suleiman, which can trigger our hill torrents. And last night, we have witnessed huge flows in our hill torrents of district DG Khan and Rajanpur. So, if we talk about the preparedness under the kind leadership of Chief Minister Punjab, because there were clear projections, so beforehand we have started desilting of all the stormwater drains, all the water carrying channels since the month of April and May, and in multiple cycles in all the urban centers, all the WASAs and the local governments, they have ensured on the directions of the Honorable Chief Minister that there should be complete clearance and desilting of all the stormwater drains and water carrying channels. And this is why, if you recall that last year, Lahore has witnessed an unprecedented rainfall in a single day, when there was almost more than 350 rainfall in Punjab, in Lahore, the Punjab's capital. But the life was back to normal the same
Exactly,
evening.
Alhamdulillah. Irfan bhai, which is why, I would want to kind of ask a few questions, because for everybody who's actually watching us right now, so that they should actually know. Now, imagine that the first step that the people of Punjab really needs to take is that they really need to be in conversation with their Nambardar or the Imam Masjid, So how do you think that that will work? Why do you think that, such a connection needs to be established between the people or the Imam Masjid or the Nambardar of that particular place?
Yeah.
Yes, it is very important, because here in Punjab, we have a special focus on early warning system. We have the data of all the vulnerable communities along the river, and we have almost 1.8 million household data, which is connected with an artificial intelligence system. And whenever there is threat of any such, riverine, especially the riverine flooding, then we alert we generate alert to the local people, and they receive messages regarding any possible eventuality. And similarly, for any rescue and evacuation, the role, and even for the early warning, the role of nambardars and imam masjid cannot be ruled out. So they are the focal point of our contingency planning. We have their all lot of numbers, and their contact details. And whenever there is issue in any part of Punjab, first we alert the Imam Masjid and the Nambadars, and they eventually, guide their community to shift to the safer places, and even they ask the government for any possible relief and rescue measures.
Thank you so much for highlighting that. And you were first talking about the brilliant initiative taken by the Chief Minister Mariam Nawaz, the emergency plan for the monsoon season. So can you please highlight the landline, the helpline that we can contact if there is any emergency situation? Other than that, there has been a 24/7 response team issued, a unit issued specifically to respond to these issues. And what safety guidelines are there for the public to uphold and follow? Can you highlight those?
Yes, sure. We have our own dedicated provincial emergency operation centers, and which has its helpline number 1129, which is available 24/7, and we are receiving complaints and other messages from the public as well. So this is one part of coordinating the provincial headquarters. Other than this, we have our district emergency operation centers throughout Punjab. In all 38 operational districts, we have these round the clock 24/7 these district emergency operation centers, which are which not only addressing the complaints of the public, but they are also providing and disseminating the information regarding any possible huge rainfall or any other climatic issues. So the local people, they are already well in touch with their district emergency operation centers. And as far as the overall public awareness is concerned, again, on the Chief Minister's directions, we have already initiated a very well structured campaign through our electronic, print and digital and social media. And that is why on almost all the national electronic and print media channels and newspapers, we are
And Irfan,
advertising, and we are
credit is due where it's due, and certainly we really need to applaud and appreciate the initiatives undertaken under the leadership of the Chief Minister of Punjab, Madam Mariam Nawaz. Now imagine, this is for the very first time that in my life I'm witnessing that such leaflets have been ruled out as well on social media, on television, where they say that, for anybody and everybody who will be affected, there's actually a place set up for them, which we're calling a relief camp. Not just that, there will be arrangements for milk for children who are infants. Not just that, there is a separate setup made in place, for women. They will be looked after, they'll be cared for, and they'll be separate representatives. So I think not just that, even animals will be looked after. There will be veterinary doctors at place. So where are these relief camps placed? Because if, God forbid, somebody has to be displaced because of the flooding or urban flooding, how do you think that they can reach out on their own vehicle to these flood relief camps?
Well, we have 731 relief camps throughout the Punjab, and they are operational right now. And the people or the public who are suffered, they can approach to them. And again, as we have talked about the role of Nambardar and Imam Masjid, and we have ensured that in all the vulnerable communities, all the Imam Masjid and Nambardars, they know very well about the nearby relief camps, and mostly these relief camps are in the government and public sector buildings, and which are safer, which are on high-rise places, and where the staff and the other facilities of medical and livestock, they are already available, and we have ensured this.
Irfan bhai, job well done. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us and our audiences as well. And credit is due where it's due, as I've mentioned before as well. I'm just going to give a quick recap, Eesha, very quickly for everybody who's residing within Punjab. And if your area or your place is prone to urban flooding or monsoon flooding, ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is make sure that you're in conversation with, keep a communication with the Imam Masjid or the district manager. Not just that, the telephone number which you can call in terms of any emergency is 1129. There are 731 relief camps being put in place. There are 38 operational district centers. So please make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you're ready, that you're prepared. God forbid if you know, because advisories and alerts are being given away or shared right before time as well. So I think Punjab government is actually on top of their game. And I think all the other provincial governments really need to follow that.
Since we have discussed how to take precautionary measures against the monsoon, we need to be updated with the weather patterns. So our next guest is actually going to shower us with the wisdom upon the weather patterns that are going to occur in the country. We have Mr. MAHR SAHIBZAD, the Director General of the Pakistan Meteorological Department, joining us. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. MAHR. How are you feeling today?
Wa alaikum assalam. Fine. How are you?
Thank you so much for your time. So very quickly, what's going to happen in Pakistan in the next 24 hours if we are to speak about monsoon rain spells?
Yes, the monsoon spell is in progress. That has affected and affecting in most part of the area. Even its progress remained very vulnerable in some catchment areas of the rivers, and even yesterday it affected the hills of the Koh Suleiman. So there was a heavy rain and in some areas, and the flow in the hill torrents gone up to 75,000. That is a really very much vulnerable. But though the agencies are very much alert, and every the stakeholders, either they are the PDMA, they are NDMA, because I am in contact with them, and so they are playing very well role, and they are serving the community. And
all right. And I think we have found out what the Pakistani weather patterns are like, but let's dive into what is happening internationally. It's actually very devastating how at least 80 people, including 28 children, have died in a catastrophic flash flood sweeping through central Texas. And search teams are racing to locate dozens more dozens of more missing people. The authorities said that the toll may continue to climb as search and rescue teams work through the weekend to locate survivors. Many families anxiously await as new emergency crews from state and local levels continue climbing through the debris and submerged landscapes. The Guadalupe River saw its water levels rise from a 2.3 meters to a staggering 9 meters within just 3 hours, reaching the second highest level on record. That is very devastating, and I think we need to thank Mr. Meher Saab for highlighting and enlightening us about the Pakistani weather patterns so we can
exactly, and not just that, because you were speaking about Texas just now. Obviously, prayers go out for all of those people, you know, who caught up with this tragedy, or you know, if we are to speak about it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you to China as well, where East China's coastal province of Fujian has prepared for Typhoon Danas, as fishing boats operating at different marine fish farms are all expected to seek shelter in nearby harbors on Saturday and Sunday. Danas, the fourth typhoon of the year, emerged in the South China Sea as a tropical storm, as strong winds are expected to intensify across its fishing areas. The Fujian Provincial Flood Control and Drought Relief Headquarters issued directives urging fishing boats to seek shelter in nearby harbors to avoid the storm's wrath.
And I think moving on from weather, the devastating effects that the floods and monsoons have had, we need to actually take a short break to revamp our spirits and then dive into the sports world. So stay tuned with us as we go to a short break.
Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. And as my wonderful colleague, before heading out towards a short break, did mention how we really need to look into what Pakistan is doing at the sports fronts as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan defeated Sri Lanka 9-0 in their second match of the Under-18 Hockey Asia Cup. Pakistan had a 6-0 lead at the break in the match played in China. Assam had scored a hat-trick. Atif Ali and Adil scored twice each. Abdullah Awan and Zubair Latif scored 1 goal each. In the first match, Pakistan defeated Hong Kong, China 8-0. Pakistan will play its third match against Bangladesh on Tuesday, which will be tomorrow. So best of luck, Pakistan.
And from using hockey sticks to using your hands for fighting, we are going to dive into karate. The Pakistani athletes excel at the 9th South Asian Karate Championship in Colombo, securing 2 golds and 1 silver and 16 bronze medals. Huzaifa Arshad won gold in the under-10 individual category, while Irana claimed gold in the under-12 plus 40 kg category. How fascinating, you know, from using hockey sticks.
Exactly.
You're using your hands to defend yourself. Karate is a very exceptional skill.
Exactly. Not just that, ladies and gentlemen. From here, I'm going to take you to Dutch Youth Regatta, where Pakistan's Fareed Mohammad Arif and Ryan Malik won gold medals on the first day of the Dutch International Youth Regatta. The Pakistani duo secured first place in the open men's double sculls race held in Amsterdam. Germany claimed the silver medal, while Ireland took bronze. The prestigious event features over 800 young athletes from different parts of the country. Well, that's not it. You know, obviously, you know, so we have spoken about hockey. We have spoken about the karate. We have spoken about the regatta. We've spoken about everything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be face with gloves on. So we're going to be talking about boxing, because Ali Nawaz wins silver medal for Pakistan at World Police and Fire Games 2025 in the United States of America. And to speak about it and to celebrate his victory and to celebrate his silver medal, he is with us. Hello, Ali. Assalamu alaikum. Congratulations. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum salam. It's wonderful experience. Alhamdulillah.
I want the same energy. Ali, how are you feeling today? Congratulations.
मैं बहुत अच्छा फील कर रहा हूँ और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बहुत अच्छी फीलिंग्स है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
Congratulations, Ali. You are the first ever boxer to win the Pakistan Police Games, the Police and Fire Games of 2025. And you are not just a regular citizen, you are a police constable as well. So please tell us about your journey, how you got started into this, and how did you prepare for this match?
जर्नी स्टार्ट हुआ जब मैं सेलेक्ट हुआ नवंबर के अंदर इस गेम्स के लिए. तो मैंने अपनी ट्रेनिंग का आगाज़ किया. मैंने शुरुआत की ट्रेनिंग की तो मुझे आईजी साहब ने बड़ा सपोर्ट किया. उनको पता चला कि मेरा जवान जा रहा है खेलने. उन्होंने अपने पास बुलाया, मुझे बहुत सपोर्ट किया, मुझे हौसला अफजाई दी और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैं आज उनकी उम्मीदों पे पूरा उतरा हूँ, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह पाकिस्तान में पहला बॉक्सर हूँ पुलिस की तरफ से जिसने सिल्वर मेडल हासिल किया है।
Alhamdulillah, Ali, we are
Thank
very
you.
happy that you know that you've actually done this for Pakistan and Pakistan police as well. आज समझ आया कि पुलिस इतना मारती क्यों, बॉक्सर तैयार कर रहे हैं वो इससे पहले नहीं पता था. But Ali, let's go back in time. You know, so you were based in Lyari, Karachi. You started in 2010. You joined police in 2019. So how did your boxing career go? So were you already a boxer when you joined police, or you know once you joined police, you know they saw that you had the potential. That's when you started boxing.
हाँ बिल्कुल, जब मैंने बॉक्सिंग शुरू की थी तो वो तकरीबन 2010 में मैंने शुरू की थी, और 2019 में मैंने इस्लामाबाद पुलिस को ज्वाइन किया, जो कि मेरा पैशन था एक फोर्स में हिस्सा बनने का, फोर्स का। तो फिर जब पोटेंशियल था मेरे अंदर, मैंने ट्रेनिंग शुरू की, मैंने अपने अफसरान को रिक्वेस्ट की तो उन्होंने मुझे इजाज़त दी नेशनल में पार्टिसिपेट करने की। तो मैं 5 दफ़ा नेशनल लेवल पे भी पाकिस्तान पुलिस की नुमाइंदगी कर चुका हूँ, इस्लामाबाद पुलिस की भी बिलखुसूस। तो वहीं से ही फिर मेरी सिलेक्शन हुई वर्ल्ड पुलिस एंड फायर गेम्स के लिए, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज मैं सिल्वर मेडल के साथ आप लोगों के सामने बैठा हूँ।
Alhamdulillah, very wonderful as well, and congratulations once again. And you know, so how was this journey? You know, so imagine that you know you even won the district and state gold medals as well. You know, it was I think probably 5 times that you participated, and then you kept on winning. Then eventually you had to go over there. So let's talk about how you reached the district levels, then you know the state level, and then
The
you know to
international
participating in the Police and Fire Games 2025. That too in United States of America.
डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे जब मैं खेला था तो हमारे काफ़ी कंपटीशन टफ होते थे, क्योंकि सिंध में काफ़ी बॉक्सिंग होती है वहाँ पे। हमारे हैदराबाद की बॉक्सिंग बहुत लेजेंडरी बॉक्सिंग है वहाँ पर। तो वहाँ पे अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्लाह ताला ने इज़्ज़त दी। देन उसके बाद स्टेट्स में काफ़ी टफ कंपटीशन रहते थे हमारे, क्योंकि वहाँ पे कराची के लड़के आते थे, लियारी के, हम लोगों को मोस्टली लियारी में जाके पार्टिसिपेट करना पड़ता था। तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्लाह ने वहाँ भी इज़्ज़त दी। देन उसके बाद ये जर्नी चलता रहा चलता रहा। उसके बाद पुलिस ज्वाइन की, पुलिस में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर्स की ड्यूटीज़ एंड सारी ड्यूटीज़ को परफॉर्म किया, जो कि एक बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस था, एक मेरा पैशन था फोर्सेस के साथ। तो उसके बाद अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बॉक्सिंग में फिर जब मैं आया तो आज आपके लोगों के सामने हूँ सिल्वर मेडल के साथ। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मेरी ज़िंदगी की सबसे बड़ी अचीवमेंट है ये, और मेरा ये पहला इंटरनेशनल टूर था जिसमें अल्लाह ताला ने इतनी बड़ी इज़्ज़त मुझे अता की।
Mashallah, mashallah.
एंड अली, आप हमें प्लीज़ गाइड कर सकते हैं, इतने ज़्यादा लोग आपको देख रहे हैं, आप उनके लिए कौन सा इंस्पायरिंग मैसेज देना चाहेंगे? बिकॉज पाकिस्तान में वी ऑलवेज रिज्यूम कि हमारे पास फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं है, अगर होते भी हैं तो हमें पता नहीं होता कि हम कहाँ पे ये फैसिलिटीज़ अवेल करें। तो एनी इंकरेजिंग फीडबैक दैट यू हैव फॉर द यूथ ऑफ पाकिस्तान, प्लीज़ इनलाइटन अस।
अ, सबसे पहले तो मेरा यही फीडबैक होगा कि देखें, आपकी कोई भी काम जब करते हैं उसके पुख्ता इरादे रखें। आप अपना हौसला कभी भी नीचे ना लाएं, अपनी हिम्मत कभी भी नीचे ना लाएं, अपने आप को मोटिवेटेड रखें। कोई चीज़ जब आप शुरू करते हैं तो उसको एंड तक पहुंचाएं। बीच में जो लोग छोड़ देते हैं तभी उनको मंजिल नहीं मिलती। और मैंने आज तक मतलब इतने बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म पे सोचा भी नहीं था कि मैं परफॉर्म कर पाऊंगा, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैंने परफॉर्म भी किया और अल्लाह ताला ने इज्जत भी दी। तो यही होता है, जब आप गिव अप नहीं करते तो अल्लाह ताला आपको इज्जत अता करते हैं।
Exactly, Alhamdulillah. That's the kind of dedication and sheer passion is required, you know, to achieve such amazing feats for your country and for your department. But not just that, मुझे ये लगता है ये बहुत ही ज़रूरी है अली कि हम उन सभी लोगों का शुक्रिया भी अदा करें जिन्होंने आपको इस जर्नी में सपोर्ट किया है। सबसे पहले जैसा कि आपने तस्करा किया कि पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में IGP इस्लामाबाद सैयद अली नासिर रिजवी साहब ने आपको बहुत सपोर्ट किया। फिर कवर मुइज़ खान है मेरे ख्याल है गालिबन टॉप सिटी वाले, जिन्होंने आपके टिकट्स में हेल्प किए। फिर उसके बाद अल वतन जियंद होत अल वतन है शायद मेरा ख्याल है। फिर सेनेटर फैसल सलीम है, आप खुद से भी इनका शुक्रिया अदा कर सकते हैं। प्लीज़ गो अहेड।
मैं इनका काफ़ी मशहूर हूँ, क्योंकि इन्होंने मेरा बहुत साथ दिया है। मैं जब ट्रैवल कर रहा था तो इन्होंने मेरी सपोर्ट की, क्योंकि मेरे साथ पाकिस्तान का नाम था। तो मेरे साथ जो कमर मोइस खान है उन्होंने सपोर्ट की, मेरे साथ सर इनाम ने सपोर्ट की, मेरे साथ जो सेनेटर फैसल हैं उन्होंने सपोर्ट की। तो क्योंकि मेरे साथ पाकिस्तान का पूरी कंट्री को मैं रिप्रेजेंट करने जा रहा था, तो मुझे मेरे दोस्तों ने सपोर्ट की। मेरे दोस्तों में फारूक भाई थे जो कि मेरे कोच भी हैं, और मुझे मंसूर ने सपोर्ट की, मुझे एहसन ने सपोर्ट की, काफ़ी दोस्तों ने एंड फैमिली ने एंड तमाम लाइक काफ़ी लोगों की एक उम्मीदें थी मेरे साथ, जिनको मैं लेके यूएस आया था। और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्लाह ताला ने उसी की जो नौबत है मुझे इज़्ज़त अता की। बस ये
जरूर जानना चाहूँगा, I would love to know over here Ali, and that is that how did your पेरेंट्स एंड फैमिली सपोर्ट यू, अम्मी के हाथ के पराठे खाते रहे क्योंकि बॉक्सिंग के लिए तो आपको पता है डाइट भी बड़ी तगड़ी चाहिए होती है, वो कैसे मैनेज करते थे आप?
जी बस मैं सिंगल पेरेंट रेज हूँ, तो मेरी वालदा जो हैं वो मुझसे दूर होती थी, वो हैदराबाद में रहती हैं। मैं इस्लामाबाद में अपना ट्रेनिंग कैंप कर रहा था, तो अम्मी को तो बड़ा मिस कर रहा था, और घर पे होता तो जाहिर सी बात है मैं वेट मेंटेन करना पड़ता है। तो अम्मी जो है वो देसी पराठे जैसे कि आप कह रहे हैं वो खिलाती है, तो हमारा वेट ऊपर चला जाता है। तो मैंने अम्मी से दूर और अम्मी से भी जाके यहाँ से मुलाकात करूंगा इंशाल्लाह। वो बहुत खुश हैं, बहुत दुआएं करती थी, उनकी दुआएं रंग लाई हैं आज।
Exactly, बहुत ही अच्छी बात है। अच्छा, जैसा कि अभी हम आपसे गुफ्तगू कर रहे हैं ना, तो साथ ही साथ बहुत सारे लोग आपका वो बॉक्सिंग मैच भी देख रहे हैं। तो एक जगह पे ऐसा लगा कि आपका जो हरीफ था शायद उसने एक दो आपको ऐसे मुक्के या पंचेस लैंड किए जिसमें मुझे लगा कि हल्का सा चक्कर आपको आया, तो आप अपने आप को वहां क्या समझा रहे थे उस मौके पे कि अली यहाँ पर नहीं गिरना और वापस जो है कोशिश करनी है कि मैं जितने पॉइंट्स हासिल कर सकूं वो कर लूं? ऐसा कोई मंजर आया जहन के सामने जिस वक्त आप बॉक्सिंग कर रहे थे?
जी मेरा मुकाबला जो था ऑस्ट्रेलियन हरीफ से था, जिसका नाम माइक कार्टर है आई थिंक, मेरे को उसका नाम भी सही से याद नहीं है। तो उसके साथ मेरे एक दो पंचेस मेरे पे लैंड हुए थे, तो मुझे काफी चक्कर भी आए, लेकिन मैं अपने लिए वहाँ पे खेल तो रहा था, साथ अपनी कौम के लिए भी खेल रहा था, अपने पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट के लिए खेल रहा था, अपने आईजी साहब के लिए खेल रहा था, और जिन्होंने मुझे सपोर्ट किया उनके लिए भी खेल रहा था। तो मैंने कहा अगर मैं गिरूंगा या मुझे कोई ऐसा, मैं हार जाऊंगा ऐसे बुरी तरह से, तो ये उन पे बैड इंप्रेशन जाएगा, और मेरे साथ सारे लोगों की उम्मीदें वो क्या करेंगे। मैंने अपने आप को हिम्मत दिलाई, हौसला दिलाया, और मैं लड़ा, मैंने फाइट बैक की।
Exactly. Well, that's wonderful. You've done a great job. Now, what are your aspirations and goals for future? Because imagine, I do know that the only reason why you couldn't really get to the gold medal was that you lost against Australia Police in the final by split decision 3-2. Only 1 point you were short from a gold medal. So what's your goal for next year, and how do you think you will make Pakistan Police, and you know, such amazing athletic people to be in police is something that I would want to see, you know, because हम अक्सर जब चौकियों पे रोकते हैं तो फिट नहीं होते हैं हमारे अनफॉर्चुनेटली पुलिस वाले, तो आपको देख के मुझे खुशी हुई कि हमारे पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में फिट लोग भी हैं।
थैंक यू सो मच। देखें हमारी जो पुलिस की ड्यूटीज होती हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा होती हैं, और हम लोग जो आवाम के साथ हमारी आवाम की खिदमत होती है वो 12-12 14-14 घंटे मैंने ड्यूटीज खुद भी की हैं अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, मैं अभी भी करता हूँ ड्यूटीज। तो ड्यूटीज में ये होता है कि हम लोगों का ना खाने का रूटीन सही हो पाता है, ना बैठने का, ना हम लोग रेस्ट प्रॉपर कर पाते हैं। तो उस चीज़ से जब आप डिस्टर्ब होते हैं तो आपका वेट ऑब्वियसली गेन होता है, स्ट्रेस बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, उसको हम मैनेज करते हैं साथ साथ, लेकिन बस वो काफी एक मुश्किल रहता है। बिल्कुल।
Exactly. Thank you so
नहीं,
much,
thank
Ali,
you,
for being with us, and thank you so much for clinching a silver medal, and that too in Police and Fire Department Games in the United States of America 2025. We wish you best of luck, and we wish and pray that inshallah in days to come you will make sure that you know that the Department of Police is up there as well, and Pakistan is up there, and that you keep on making us all proud. But there are two people who are not making each other proud. You know, I would want to talk about them. So they were making each other proud.
They were.
I don't know whether what happened. It looks more like a modern family drama to me. But ladies and gentlemen, it's all over the news, and we would certainly want to share it with you. So imagine that the multi-billionaire Elon Musk has launched the America Party as his feud with Donald Trump escalates. The move follows Trump's signing of a sweeping spending bill, which Musk criticized as fiscally irresponsible. Once a major Trump ally and political appointee, Musk now vows to challenge what he calls the uniparty system. His new party plans to field candidates in key congressional races, signaling a major disruption to traditional U.S. politics.
And what's very fascinating about this is that he actually launched a poll for this new party that he's rising on the 4th of July, which is the American Independence Day, and he wants to basically step ahead and rise against the dual system of the Democrats versus Republicans, parties that are very dominant in America and very prevalent.
And Eesha, I never knew whether you know a third party could actually be registered and it will be operational, because ever since we were growing up, we were only told that it's only a two-party system, Democrats or the Republicans.
The blues versus
but
the reds.
imagine, you know, that the world actually works the same way. So may it be Pakistan, may it be India, may it be any other country. Imagine what happens after he's actually come up on TV and said that I'm going to launch my own party. So the United States Air Force, in collaboration with SpaceX, had plans to test hypersonic rocket cargo delivers from a Pacific atoll. The plans, however, had to be suspended after backlash from biologists and conservationists. Experts argue that the test would harm many seabirds that nest at the wildlife refuge on the Johnston Atoll and unincorporated US territory nearly 800 miles, 1300 kilometers southwest of Hawaii. तो आखिर में कोई ना कोई बहाना तो फिर बनाना था ना.
You know, I think Shahzad spoke about a very deep thing, that how the politics actually affects progress in different countries. But you know, transitioning to the next news about the fascist Indian Modi regime, how in a move that has sparked widespread concern, the Indian government has blocked access to the official X account of the global news agency routers within the country. The decision, made without any official explanation, marks a troubling explanation on the Delhi's tightening grip on press freedom under the Modi's fascist regime. After years of silencing domestic dissent and concerning Pakistani content, the BJP-led government has now extended its crackdown to internationally respected media outlets. It's very devastating how the citizens of India are being blocked by freedom of speech, freedom of press, and the ability to stay in touch with international news.
And we have seen how India would certainly do that. We have seen how India has actually done it in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Now they're doing it to their own people and such sort of censorship. Now imagine that we did share how, you know, in one city of India, you know, the I think mass communication students won't be learning about China, Pakistan, or the religion Islam. So I don't know where the Indians are headed as of now, but ladies and gentlemen, if we are to speak about Pakistan, Pakistan's economy is headed in a very positive direction. The last week, I think I came across this news that our foreign reserves have gone up to $14 billion to speak about where Pakistan is headed and its economy and the bullish trends that we see in the Pakistan Stock Exchange. We're very lucky that the gentleman who was in Beijing is now in our studios. He's Dr. HASSAN but former project director CPEC. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Absolutely perfect. How was Beijing?
Beijing was nice, wonderful. Bit of humidity there too. I think globally the humidity level is rising and it's a challenge actually.
And it is certainly a challenge. You know, you go to the gym, you certainly feel as if you cannot breathe, and then you just have to sit down for a while, just be in front of the fan. But sir, we'll come back to that.
And I think we need to dive into how Pakistan is reaching more economic stability. So firstly, I think we need to revamp towards the past and learn about the challenges that we had before and what steps are being taken to address these key challenges that are actually boosting the economy now.
Because you spoke about policies the other day.
Yeah, I think the challenges were many. I mean, there's a long list to that, from political instability to, you know,
default,
inflation,
and there were a lot of talks around default. And you know, in a boom bust cycle, such talks are very common, and especially in television shows in the evening where, you know, a doomsday scenario is depicted. So, you know, that political economy perspective challenges are always there. But I think the government, through an whole of government approach, and I acknowledge the work done through SIFC, I acknowledge the work done through a Ministry of Finance, planning. I think a concerted effort was made. There were challenges, you know, in a political economy that we were just discussing. People's sentiments are important. But you know, when you are making course corrections, sometimes that is a challenge. But government immediately worked on inflation. Inflation level is down. There is stability, and in the current budget also the government has given direction in the way that this government will work for another 1 or 2 years. And I think if we continue on this path, we shall have stability as a stepping stone moving towards growth and development, and that's very important.
Exactly, that's great, sir. Now, I think that the question which needs to be posed rightfully over here is that last year we did see how our, you know, foreign reserves were at $9.6 billion something. Now we are at 14.6, and there's been a lot of speculation कि यार ये तो उधार के पैसे हैं. You know, so please, would you mind, you know, sharing a statement of your own mindset, whether how, you know, the economy is actually making sure that, you know, that we are getting to a better place every single year?
You know, the best thing for me, you know, as a professor of university talking to youngsters, the government has cut its own spending. So they're saving on that. Government is showing responsibility, and as I said, whole of government approach. They're identifying new avenues and sectors where they can attract investment, showcasing Pakistan as a good place to invest. True. And through that, and as I said, working on inflation, working with State Bank, looking at currency, overall structure of the currency, I think the government has done great steps. And I think, and the most important aspect, and Prime Minister And remember, this is IMF regime. This is also in a scenario where we had a conflict with India.
Yep.
Still, we were able to stabilize our economy, bring our reserves to a level where the stock exchange is looking at possibilities, not at challenges, and therefore the growth, as you see.
And I just remember, sir, because just a few days ago as well, I think probably 6 or 7 months ago, where how all the expats were called into Pakistan for startups. We generated $700 million then in pledges, and obviously it's going to increase. And there were other startups and systems and conferences which took place where we have garnered a lot of billions of dollars as well. So maybe policies, maybe SIFC, maybe the IMF plan. Let's talk about the Pakistan-China economic corridor, because I do believe it has immensely contributed towards our infrastructure, the special economic zones, the job market. How do you see its impact?
I think the next phase is going to be very, very critical, based on how the sentiments are developed now. We call it Path A, the Iron Brotherhood has been demonstrated in the conflict with India. And I think it's the economic warfare where we need to work on now. As the planning minister said yesterday, we are working on agriculture. We are looking at science and technology, more collaboration in that. As I said in our last program, we've seen our per unit yield going down in agriculture sector. Therefore, we need to work with Chinese on that, because Chinese can grow anything on stones also. They have this.
Why
history.
can't we?
Yeah.
Why can't
So
we?
we will we work on these small agri-based zones where the Chinese technology can be used and our expertise. The government was very smart in sending around 100 agri-based scholars to China. Just recently they've come back, and I think they would contribute in this sector. The other area where the government, and there was a lot of talk around that when I was in Beijing, around the Panda bond. I think the finance ministry is keenly working on our local banks, working with stakeholders in China to introduce that, and I think that would diversify Pakistan challenges on currency also, because we'll have an alternative in that. The planning minister is looking at CPEC phase 2 with a more sustainability aspect of it also, looking at sectors including tourism, which can actually have a great impact on our economy, and also the macroeconomic aspect.
And that was spoken very well about all the things, how CPEC is helping reboot the infrastructure, helping the economic perspective of job growth. And speaking about this, we actually have the Uran Pakistan plan, which is upcoming, which aims to boost the export growth led by Pakistan. So can you dive into how this is being led and how this is different from any other blueprints that we have discussed in the past?
The best aspect of Uran Pakistan for me is the regional connectivity part. As a professor in university, when I interact with youngsters like you, they always ask, what has CPEC installed for us? How many jobs would be created? It's a frequently asked question. And I think a country with great geography, good human resource and regional connectivity has the potential to be amongst the top 30 economies of the world. Pakistan has that potential. The government is setting up the footprint and the blueprint for that. Regional connectivity within the Uran Pakistan, financial stability, the 5E, including the environment. There's a huge scope to work in that sector. Green special economic zone. China is now working with a lot of its neighboring country. Pakistan is its priority country, and I think what we need to do is perhaps create a better enabling environment. The bureaucracy through SIFC should create those policies which should not be one size fit all. And I've always been saying the Balochistan special economic zone should be treated differently. The special economic zone in Punjab, in KP should be treated differently, because the endowments are different. One in Sindh we have ocean, water, proximity to ports. In Punjab we have this industrial base. In KP we have regional connectivity to Afghanistan. And you must be witnessing on the effort that China is making in bringing Afghanistan into the framework of CPEC and Belt and Road. If that happens, I think there's a huge potential for CPEC to grow northward, and perhaps we can actually leverage from that.
Thank you for highlighting that.
And huge potential for neighbors to kind of come along
Very
as well. But sir, very
encouraging to
quickly,
hear,
what you were trying to mention over here, certainly we'll have to come back to stability. I do remember or unfortunately, when it was the Prime Minister Mia Mohammed Nawaz's regime, after I think 2013, things were getting better. Unfortunately, there was no stability. The political instability took it all away from us. Now, what happens is, we do know about the Charter of Democracy, but do you think that we will one day come towards Charter of Economy? And if we are to kind of speak about that, let's speak about how the rupee is weakening against the other currencies. Do you think that it is because of the low foreign exchange revenues or inflation, narrow tax base, tax evasion, energy crisis?
You know, for academians, for industrialists, Charter of Economy is inevitable now.
Okay.
We have to work on that because we understand there are political discussions, there are political debate. Everyone wants to look better than its opponents. But I think at the end of the day, it's the national spirit and the national economy that matter. If we'll have money to provide jobs, to support growth, and to even support the political discussion, the National Assembly, the salaries within the staff there, I think that is very, very important. And I think Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has echoed this several times whenever he's been there in the National Assembly, talking about the national spirit for Charter of Economy. But I think on the same spirit, we need to engage larger stakeholders, including the industrialists, the business community, because the business community also has to, be responsible, pay taxes, and they do, and they support our economy. What I'm saying is that there are challenges right now as we speak because of the IMF, and I think they would understand the challenges of the government and support the direction in which. Please remember, as the Chinese say, it does not matter how fast you are moving as long as you're moving in the right direction.
Wow,
Exactly.
what
Thank
a
you so much, Dr.
profound
Saab, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation with you, and thank you so much for sharing your
It's an honor.
insights
It's an honor.
on how Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, may it be the sports front, may it be the economic front, may it be the political stability, is actually doing a wonderful job. So may it be our civil leadership, military leadership, for them to be on the same page actually promises Pakistan for a fruitful future, and that's exactly what we all want. Until next time, look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Have a good day. Thank you so much.